SHD versus SHGG might be the single most argued matchup in all of investing. Scroll any money forum for 2 minutes, and you'll find people absolutely certain that one is clearly better than the other. But here's the thing, that's the wrong question. Asking whether SHD beats SHG is a bit like asking whether a steady paycheck beats a fast-growing savings account. It completely depends on what you actually need the money to do. One of these funds is built to pay you now. The other is built to make you a lot more later. So today, instead of crowning some permanent winner, I'm going to show you exactly what each one really is, the honest trade-off between them, and a dead simple way to tell which one fits you, or whether you should just own both. Welcome to Grow with Tony. I'm Tony, and today we're settling the SCHD versus SCHG debate the honest way. Not which wins, but which one is right for you. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Please do your own research before making any investment decisions. Here's why this matchup matters so much. Both of these are wildly popular Schwab ETFs. And quickly, an ETF just means a single fund. You can buy and sell like a stock that holds a whole basket of companies at once. Instead of you having to go out and buy 50 different stocks individually, you just buy one share of the ETF, and you instantly own a tiny piece of everything inside it. Now, both SHD and SHG are dirt cheap to own, and both have huge, loyal followings. Because they're both from the same company, and both are so popular, beginners often line them up against each other and then pick one based on some random ranking video, instead of based on their own goal. And here's the trap. SHD and SHG do almost exactly opposite jobs. So picking the wrong one has nothing to do with which one happened to perform better last year. It's about choosing a fund that's mismatched with what you actually need your money to do. That mismatch is the real mistake, and it's the one this video is going to help you avoid. So I'll give you plain English on what each fund actually holds and why, the core income versus growth trade-off, and a simple framework to match one, or both, to your own timeline and goals. No hype, and definitely no, this one will make you rich. Let's start by meeting SHD, which I like to call the Pay Me Now Fund. To be official, SHD is the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, and it tracks something called the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index. Now, if you're looking at the name, you can probably guess the vibe, but let's get into what's actually inside. It holds about 100 established, financially strong American companies that have a long history of paying dividends. And a dividend, if you're new to this, is just a slice of a company's profit that it pays out to you in cash simply for owning the stock. It's like getting a small thank you check from the company every few months just for being a shareholder. Now, here is the important part. Why those particular 100 companies? Because this is where SHD's entire personality comes from. A company can't just have a high dividend today and magically get into this fund. There's a strict set of rules. First, a company has to have paid dividends for at least 10 years in a row. This is huge, because it means you're looking at proven, reliable payers, not some flashy newcomer that's paying a big dividend today but might go broke tomorrow. Then, out of the companies that pass that 10-year test, the index screens them for real financial strength. It doesn't just look at the payout, it looks at how the business is actually running. It checks things like how much cash flow a company has compared to its debt, which basically tells you if the company can actually afford its bills, and its return on equity, which is a fancy way of saying how efficiently the company turns shareholder money into actual profit. It also looks at the current dividend yield and how fast that dividend has been growing over the past 5 years. So you see, SHD isn't just chasing high yield for its own sake. It's not trying to find the highest number it can. It's hunting for high yield that's actually built to last. Because of this strict filtering, the companies that make the cut tend to be steadier, more mature, and what we call value-leaning businesses. These are the established names, the giants of industry that have already grown up and are now in the phase of their life where they generate tons of cash and share it with you. Because they are mature. They usually bounce around less than the hottest, trendiest stocks on the market. We call this volatility, and volatility just means how wildly the price swings up and down. If a stock goes from $100 to $110, then down to $90, then back to $105, it's volatile. SHD tends to swing less than the broader market because the companies inside it are generally less speculative. In short, SHD's whole job is to pay you now. It's the fund you reach for when you want real cash actually showing up in your account on a regular basis. Now, let's flip the script and meet SHG, which is the Grow It for Later fund. SHG is the Schwab U.S. Large Cap Growth ETF. It tracks a large cap U.S. growth index, which means it holds the biggest American companies that are classified as growth. When the market calls a company a growth company, it means these are businesses that the market expects to grow their earnings much faster than the average company. In plain terms, SHG holds a few hundred of the largest U.S. growth companies, and in practice, that leans very heavily toward the dominant technology and innovation giants whose names you already know. These are the companies building the AI of tomorrow, the software that runs the world, and the hardware in your pocket. One honest note here: the exact companies inside, their weightings, and even the precise number of holdings shift over time as the market changes, so you should always check the fund's official page for the current lineup. Here is the key difference you need to understand. SHG's goal is completely different from SHD's. SHG is not really trying to pay you income. If you're looking for a big check every quarter, you're looking in the wrong place. Its dividend is minimal, almost an afterthought. Why? Because growth companies usually don't want to give their cash back to shareholders. Instead, they take every penny they make and reinvest it back into the business to build new factories, hire more engineers, or buy other companies to grow even faster. Because of this, SHG is chasing something called capital appreciation. That's just a fancy way of saying it wants the share price itself to climb over time. With SHD, you make money from the dividends and some price growth. With SHG, you're meant to make your money primarily from the price going up. You're buying a piece of the company today at one price, hoping that in 10 years, that company is much larger and more valuable, allowing you to sell your shares for a much higher price. But there's a trade-off baked right into this growth engine. Because SCHG is concentrated in fast-growing, often more expensive companies, it tends to swing harder in both directions. When the economy is booming and tech is soaring, SHG can feel like a rocket ship, giving you bigger gains than a steady dividend fund ever could. But when the market turns, or when interest rates rise, those same growth stocks can sink much lower and much faster. It's a ride with more potential reward, but it also comes with more white-knuckle moments. SHG's whole job is to build wealth for later. It's the growth engine you reach for when you don't need income today and you've got time on your side. So, now that we know who the players are, let's put them side by side and look at the real trade-off between income, growth, and risk. First, let's talk about the income. This is the most obvious difference. SHD pays you a steady, meaningful dividend. You can see that cash hitting your account, and you can choose to spend it or reinvest it. SHG pays you almost nothing by comparison because it wants you making your money from the price climbing instead. Now, remember, for the exact current yields, you have to check each fund's page. Those numbers move every single day based on the market price, so don't rely on a static number you saw on a thumbnail. Then we have the style. SHD leans toward value and stability. It's looking for established companies at reasonable prices. SHGG leans toward growth and acceleration. They deliberately hold different kinds of companies, which is the whole point. If you only own one, you're betting on one specific style of the market winning. Then there's the volatility we mentioned. SHD usually gives you a smoother ride. It's not a guarantee that it will never drop, but it generally doesn't crash as hard as the high-flying growth sector does. SHGG can soar higher, but it can also sink lower. If a big sudden drop in your account balance would keep you up at night or make you panic, that difference matters more than it sounds. It's not just about the math, it's about your nerves. And now, let's talk about taxes. Because please, don't skip this part. This is where a lot of people make an expensive mistake. If you hold these funds in a regular taxable brokerage account, they are treated very differently. With SHD, those dividends get taxed in the year you receive them. It doesn't matter if you have automatic reinvestment turned on. The government sees that dividend as income the moment it hits your account, and they want their cut. SHG's growth, on the other hand, mostly sits there as what's called an unrealized gain. This means that even if the stock price doubles, you don't owe a single cent in taxes until the day you actually sell the shares. This makes growth funds potentially more tax efficient in a regular account. Because of this, where you hold each fund, whether it's a regular account or a tax-advantaged retirement account like an IRA or a 401k, can genuinely change how much money you actually keep in your pocket. Now, here is the honest truth, and this is the part that those top 10 funds ranking videos always skip. Neither fund wins in a vacuum. There is no such thing as a permanent champion. There have been long stretches of history where high-flying growth companies absolutely crushed steady dividends. Then, there are other stretches, often during market crashes or periods of high inflation, where the calm dividend payer comes out ahead while growth gets punished. So, anyone who shows you a single chart from the last 3 years and declares one of them the permanent winner is just cherry-picking a time window that flatters their favorite pick. The real question isn't which one won the last race, it's which one fits the race you are running. So, how do you actually decide? How do you figure out which one fits you? Here's a simple way to think about it. And again, remember that this isn't financial advice, it's a framework for your own research. First, start with your timeline. This is the biggest factor. The further away you are from actually needing this money to pay for your life, the more it can make sense to tilt toward growth. If you're in your 20s or 30s, you've got years and years to ride out the bigger swings. You could afford to let SHG drop 20% in 1 year because you have a decade for it to recover and compound. But the closer you get to wanting income you can actually spend, like if you're approaching retirement or you're looking to supplement your current salary, the more a steady dividend payer like SHD tends to earn its place. At that stage, you want reliable cash flowing in, not a stomach-churning roller coaster that might be down right when you need to withdraw money. Next, get honest about your goal. Do you want cash flow showing up in your account right now? Do you want to see that balance grow every month and maybe use that money to pay for a subscription, a dinner out, or just the psychological win of seeing money for nothing hit your account? Or are you purely after the biggest possible pile of money many years down the road? Are you trying to turn a small amount into a huge amount over 20 years? Both goals are completely valid, but they point to different funds. You have to be honest about which one you're really chasing. Then, check your stomach. Be real with yourself here. We all like to think we're brave investors when the market is going up. But imagine you wake up and your portfolio is down 15% in a single week. If that kind of drop would make you panic and sell everything at the worst possible moment, then the smoother ride of SHD is worth more to you than squeezing out every last drop of potential growth from SHG. The best fund on paper is completely useless if you can't hold on to it during a crash. And finally, think about your account. Because income-heavy funds like SHD throw off taxable dividends every year, they often fit really nicely inside a tax-advantaged account, like a retirement account, where those dividends aren't getting taxed along the way. You can let those dividends compound in peace. A pure growth fund, because it doesn't pay much out, can be a bit more tax-friendly in a regular taxable account since you're not getting hit with a tax bill every year. Now, here is the reframe that most beginners completely miss. This was never actually a cage match where one fund has to die for the other to live. You don't have to pick a side. A huge number of people simply own both. They don't see it as a competition. They see it as a team. They use SCHG as their growth engine to build wealth and SCHD as their income anchor to provide stability and cash. They let each fund quietly do the job it's good at, and you might have seen people talking about a split, putting some percentage in each one. It's important to be honest here. A split isn't some magic formula that secretly beats the market or some hidden hack. It's just a way of matching your mix to your stage of life. There's nothing mystical about it. It's just diversification. The best part is that you're allowed to change the tilt over time. Your portfolio doesn't have to be frozen in stone. When you're young and in the building phase, you might lean more heavily toward the growth side, maybe putting the majority of your money in SHG because you've got decades to let it run. Then, as you get closer to actually needing that income, you can gradually shift your new contributions, or even move some existing money toward the steady dividend payer. Your investment mix is allowed to grow up as you do. So, let's pay off that question from the very beginning. The answer to SHD or SHG was never a single winner waiting to be crowned. The real answer is a question right back at you. What's the job you actually need done? Do you need a fund to pay you now? Do you need a fund to grow it for later? Or, honestly, do you need a thoughtful little bit of both? If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, don't worry. Let's turn this into some actionable steps you can take right now. Step 1. Name your goal first, before you even think about the ticker symbol. Don't start by looking at a chart. Start by looking at your life. Decide whether you're after income you can use now or maximum growth for later. Once you're honest about that, the fund choice basically falls out of the equation, not the other way around. If the goal is, I want to retire in 30 years with the biggest pile possible, you know where to lean. If the goal is, I want to lower my monthly expenses using my investments, you know where to lean. Step 2. Go check the official fund pages yourself. Don't take my word for it, and definitely don't take a screenshot from a video as gospel. Pull up SCHD and SCHG on Schwab's own website. Look at the current yield and the expense ratio with your own eyes. These numbers move all the time, and the numbers quoted in thumbnails or old articles go stale fast. Trust the official source, not a screenshot. Step 3. Match your pick to your timeline and your account. Lean toward growth when you're far from meeting the money, and lean toward income as you get close. And remember that a dividend-heavy fund often fits best tucked inside a tax-advantaged account to avoid those yearly tax hits on your dividends. Step 4. Don't overthink it into paralysis. This is the most important step. Many people spend 6 months arguing about which fund is 1% better, and in those 6 months, they miss out on the growth of the market entirely. If you genuinely cannot decide between them, owning some of both is a perfectly sensible and professional answer. The single worst move here is freezing up and owning neither while you wait for a perfect choice that doesn't exist. Bottom line, SCHD versus SCHG was never really about which one is better. There is no better in a vacuum. It's about which job you need done. Pay me now, grow it for later, or a thoughtful bit of both. Pick the job, and the fund picks itself. If this finally made the SCHD versus SCHG debate click for you, subscribe so the next confusing fund face-off gets a whole lot simpler too. And tell me in the comments, are you Team SCHD, Team SCHG, or Team both? Tony reads them all. Pick the job, not the winner. See you in the next one.